Shalom all. So last week we spoke about the fact that one of the reasons for going to the army is we're going to the army because we want to serve God. And by serving God, we are protecting, through protecting Jews and being part of the partnership which is protecting Jews in Israel, Medina Israel. That means we're serving God. It's a huge mitzvah. We want to serve Am Yisrael and serve God. And we said the Rambam defined that one of the reasons when a mitzvah is a michem mitzvah, when it's an actual mitzvah to fight, is defending Jews from trouble coming upon them. Rav Elisna now continues explaining that one can differentiate between helping a few Jews, helping all of Am Yisrael. You need to differentiate. One needs to differentiate between saving a Jew, a few Jews, and saving ha'umah, the nation. Yudua shuvato shel Noda B'Yehuda. One of the Achronim, the Noda B'Yehuda, was asked a question, in a very difficult question and an unpleasant one, that there was a convoy of or caravan of Jews, and they were attacked by highway robbers. One of the women there, who was married, gave herself up and seduced Pitata et Mefaked Kunufia. She seduced the commander of the highway robbers, or the leader of these robbers, and she convinced them to release the rest of the Jews and the rest of the hostages, and on condition that she would remain his wife, even though she's already married. Okay, so she's doing it for the correct reason. She's trying to save Jewish lives. However, the question is this allowed? Are you allowed to sin in this way? She is protecting other Jews, l'chora, but is this the correct way? Liyamim, hitzlicha livwach mimeno, v'chazra el ba'alan. After however many years, she was able to escape this hostage taker, this bandit, and return to her husband. Kevan she'eshet ish shezinta asua lebala. A woman who has an affair is no longer able to stay with her original husband. We have a klal in the Torah that for prohibitions of erva, in the sexual sphere of things, right? Someone is forced to have relations with someone she's not allowed to. There's lots of examples for it. For instance, someone else, if a married woman has a gun to her head and says, have relations with this man who's not your husband, or die, she's supposed to choose death. So in this example, this woman, was it mutar for her to do it? Because she did it not for the purpose of cheating, but rather for the purpose of saving other Jews. And therefore, if she transgressed, is she now able to stay with her husband because she did it in defense of other Jews? Or is it considered an affair, even though it was done through coercion, or she used it? She didn't really want to do it, but she used the method of having relations with this non-Jewish bandit to enable other Jews, maybe even hundreds of other Jews, to be saved, who were part of this caravan along the way. So the Noda Yehuda was asked about this. Is she now able to return to her husband? V'imken, haim hi mutar lebala? Hanoda Yehuda masbir shebedin yarek ve'avor en lavdil ben mikre bo ma'imim rak alea לבין מקרה בו מאיימים על כמה אנשים. פוסק שאסור היה לה להציל את חיי אנשי השיירה באיסור של אשת איש, כי על אשת איש יש איסור ייהרג ועבור בין ביחיד בין ברבים. Okay, so the Noda B'Yehuda says, even though she saved many by doing her actions, Yarek V'Yavor, the mitzvah of dying rather than sinning in the three cardinal sins, one of them being the sexual sins, that is a prohibition, and therefore, even if she's doing it to save other people, she had to give up her life, and she cannot return to her husband. Great questions asked the Noda. If this is so, and even to save the multitudes, you're not allowed to transgress sexual sins. How is it possible that Esther, according to the Chazal, was married to Mordechai? How is it possible she has relations with Achashverosh? Now, in the story of the Megillah, everything is unwilling. She doesn't want it. However, towards the end of the story, to go to Achashverosh, to meet with him, to plead for the Jews, she goes to him and enables herself, unfortunately, to have relations in order to save Jews. Now, according to this, there's no difference between Esther and this woman who saved the convoy. So how was it mutar? We see Esther as a holy woman who made huge sacrifices, but it was mutar because it was saved. So how is it allowed for Esther Hamalka to transgress the prohibition of Eshet Isha of cheating or having relations outside of aside from her husband? How is that allowed? But this woman who is saving a whole convoy, caravan of people, how is that not allowed? So the Noda B'Yehuda answers that what? Kasher avadi avadi. Right. So it says in the Megillah, until now I've been doing everything against my will. Now I'm doing it begrudgingly, but I'm doing it out of will, and I'll lose my olam haba. Right? That's what she's thinking. And so the Noda B'Yehuda answers, Hatzalat Klal Yisrael Shani. The saving of all Am Yisrael is different. Yes, she is having relations out of wedlock. She is married to, meaning she's married, but she's having relations with another person who is not her husband. Meaning Mordechai is her husband, Achashverosh is the king. Obviously Achashverosh doesn't know this is going on, but in any case, he doesn't know that Mordechai and Esther are married. But the fact is she does. She knows she's married. She's now having begrudgingly, but willingly, relations with the king to save the Jewish people. So the Noda B'Yehuda says, Klal Yisrael Shani, when you're saving not just yourself, not just a few hundred Jews, but all of Am Yisrael, right? We believe historically that all the Jews were in the 127 states which Achashverosh was controlling. All the Jews are there, and therefore if Haman succeeds, all the Jews are going to be wiped out. So for Esther, it's not just saving a few hundred. It's not just saving about a few thousand. It's about saving all of Am Yisrael. כלומר, אין חילוק בין יחיד לרבים במקרה של רבים, הכוונה לקבוצה. אך כשיש סכנה לאומה כולה, however, when all the nation is in danger, להשמיד, להרוג ולאבד, מנער ועד זקן. טף ונשים ביום אחד, as it says in Esther, Perek Gimel, verse 13. As it says, again, להשמיד, to destroy, להרוג, to kill, ולאבד. Comes to this word to lose something. It means to make absent, meaning completely obliterate. Minar v'atzaken, from youth to an old person. Nashim v'yom echad, children, women, old people, young people, in one day. That's what HaKadosh Baruch Hu is looking to do. Mikra kazeh, because in the case of Esther, all of Am Yisrael were at risk, therefore it's allowed. Then you're allowed to get involved and transgress even the three cardinal sins. From this we hear that there is a madrega, there's a very high level when we are discussing saving all of Am Yisrael. So much so it enables me to actually transgress something terrible. So if we continue, says Rav Eli Sadan, Pashut Muvan Shbiyamenu Tzal Magen Al Klal Yisrael. It's Pashut and obvious that Am Yisrael are across the world today are protected through the army of Israel. Right? If we take Entebbe as an example, if we take other missions Am Yisrael have been on the Tzal have been on, we are not looking to transgress three cardinal sins, but what we learn from the story of the Noda B'Yehuda is when one is involved in saving all of Am Yisrael, one is on a level that one can actually do certain things. But what it means is halachically, when you're in the army, you're saving Klal Yisrael. That gives you a special status in halacha. בארץ נמצא הריכוז הגדול ביותר של העם היהודי. In Eretz Yisrael is the largest concentration of Jews in the world today. More than that, as opposed to the Jews of the diaspora, which, as opposed to the Jews in the diaspora, which unfortunately, because of Aliyah, Baruch Hashem, that's a good reason, because of how intermarriage and assimilation, they're going, and lower birth rates, they're going down in number. Because of intermarriage being higher than birth rates. Israel is the only place in the world which Jews consistently, the population is growing. At the end of the day, the hope of the nation of Israel and its future are dependent on the continuity of the Jewish people in the land of Israel. Therefore, Rabbi Eli Sadan is developing the idea, defending Jews in the land of Israel is for sure comparative to saving all of Am Yisrael. It's more than just, right, there's a prohibition of al tamod adam recha. You're not supposed to stand aside whilst you see your brother's blood being spilled. You're supposed to get involved. So it's more than just al tamod adam recha. It's not more than just millions of Jews are in danger, therefore don't stand on the side. You have to get involved. It's more than that. It's actually the mitzvah of defending Klal Yisrael, right? As the Rambam said, Ezad Yisrael miyad tzara balem. What is a milchama mitzvah? When you're saving Jews from threats that are coming upon them. Now you're doing it for Klal Yisrael, for all of Am Yisrael. Lefichach zo mitzvah shetochet kol haTorah kula. Therefore, there's a mitzvah which cancels out all other sins apart from avodah zarah, right? Va'afilu averot shel yarev v'yavo, even mitzvot which are yeharev v'yavo, you're supposed to die for them. They cancel out. There's no greater mitzvah than saving Am Yisrael. How do you know this? Because if you're told to do a cardinal sin, like avodah zarah, not avodah zarah, like killing, or a sexual transgression, you do it because it saves Klal Yisrael. Not a few hundred, the nation as a whole. Okay, we'll stop here for today.